So Patrick, what do you think some of the other major misconceptions are in cloud migration and things that, especially internally, the organization, especially non-technical people think that this is the cure-all or this cloud migration is going to enable us to do X, when in actuality, there's a very limited window in which it can protect you. What do you think some of those biggest misunderstandings are? And then the next step, I would say, what do you think we could really practically do to break that down so we could tell people this is what cloud migration actually is doing, and this is why you think it does X, but it actually does Y.
As Amri already said, I think the cloud works differently than if you had something on-prem. It has some advantages. It also has some disadvantages, and we see that because if you look at SAP software, there's no two SAP systems which are exactly alike in the world. So there's a high amount of customization in those solutions, in those systems at the customer. And that is something, for example, which the cloud cannot provide in a way. I mean, you probably have to make the distinction between a public cloud and a private cloud, where the public cloud is the software as a service kind of thing. And that is highly standardized, which also means that some of the flexibility you might have with an on-premise solution is something you will not get in the cloud. On the other hand, because everything is standardized, you will be a lot quicker in using the software. And I think that is something which is important to know about the cloud. And that's also one of the biggest advantages of the cloud. It's not only that you can just start right away. I mean, if you're a small, medium-sized businesses, you just sign up for a cloud service or for a cloud application, and you're ready to go. That also includes the scalability, right? Because that is, if you look at the hyperscalers, AWS, Azure, and Google even, that's what their biggest selling point is. So regardless of whether you're a one-person company now, but you'll be a 100-person company in 2 months, you don't need to buy all the hardware to match that growth, but you just go to the cloud and they will do that for you. Or even maybe a more extreme example, you remember the Pokemon hype a couple of years back? They were only able.
I was personally responsible for all of it. Okay. Don't you see?
Yeah, well, but anyway, I mean, they were only able.
But I did it.
They were only able to do that because they were in the cloud. Because all of a sudden they were surprised by the popularity that gained, but they could scale because they were using that in the cloud. So I think that's that's probably one of the biggest aspects of migrating to the cloud: the flexibility and scalability.